Good morning. Another beautiful day from Florida. Perfect. It's been nice and cool now. You know where it was really hot for a while? It's been nice and cool. And let's see. So I just wanted, actually, somebody asked me if I could show how I dump. And I know I've showed that in the past, but I know I have a lot of new followers, and so I am just going to show you. And if you don't know, I have a 2001 road Trek, and I'm going to show you how I know it's time to dump. Okay, I have this handy dandy thing, and so this is the LPG gas, so I know if I need to fill my propane. This is the fresh tank right here. This is the holding tank, which is the black tank, and this is the gray tank. That's whatever like goes down the sink or anything, you know, that's like clean water. That's your holding. So there, and then that's how full the battery is. So let's see. So I'm just going to push this. And if you can see, my holding tank is full. My freshwater tank is there. Oh, looks like I need to get some propane, especially if I'm heading to Minnesota soon. And my gray tank is hardly anything. And my battery, so once I drive, my battery will go up. And just so you know, I was nervous the first time to ever do this. And after I did it the first time, I'm like, this is nothing. So just know, it's nothing. I know it sounds like it's gross and stuff like that, but it's actually not too bad. So we're gonna go do that. And also, I don't know if I told you last time, so I did decide I am staying here at least for another week, because Minnesota is getting a lot more snow now. So I have to wait because I can't go back when it's cold, because if it's freezing, then the pipes might burst in Charlotte here. And so I might as well stay in sunny, warm Florida before I head back home. And then I'll check the weather the next week and I'll just see how that goes. So let's get out and start the morning with dumping. Although we already had breakfast. Keith made souffles and we had oranges and grapes and coffee, and we laughed a lot. So perfect day, perfect way to start the day. And now we dump. Okay, let's go do it and get this part over with. See, there's a line to dump. It's the cool thing to do. Okay, I'm going to show you what I do to start. Before I dump, I open this, because in here, when you are on the road, you need gloves. These are very, very, very important. So this is where I keep my gloves. And then I'm going to show you the dumping part. Okay, so on the road truck, you know, different rigs have different places where they have their dumping hose, but for mine, it's right under the driver's seat. And so I do that, and this is the hose right here. And if you watch my video, I lost my crapper hose in Iowa. It was like dragging 30 feet behind me. And so Keith had already come here right before. He's behind me waiting for another thing. And so he already took the cover off. There's a cover on top of it usually. You want to show this, John? Mm-hmm. So there's a cover. And so when we're done, we cover it, but Keith's behind me. So here is my gray tank pole, and this is my black tank pole right here. So what I'm going to do is, if you can see, mine is like rigged up like that, and you can see, and then you pull it out, and I will spare you the actual dumping part, but this is how easy it is. So we'll come back right after we're done. Okay, so you always dump the black tank first, and then, so I pulled that out. I'm gonna push that back in to close it. And then this is the gray tank, so this is clear water, and I know there's not much in there from what we saw. So I am gonna pull this, and then you'll see just clear water. John, you wanna show this? Clear water is gonna come out of here. And like I said, I know there's not much in there. And thank goodness for that my crapper hose did fail because it was the original one. And this one is so much nicer. It was only like $35 at Walmart and easy to put on. So that's just my clear water from like my sink. So then that rinses everything out. And what we're gonna do, since Keith is waiting in line, we're gonna show you then how his rig, you know, he has, what is it, John?
Honey wagon.
So yeah, they have a honey wagon which they put in. They dump from their rig into a honey wagon and then bring it here and dump it. I don't know, I think mine's a lot easier, but let's see how Keith does his.
Close my gray tank and then I wonder why.
Oh, for God's sakes, come on, lady. You know, I don't have all day.
Hold on, hold your horses.
Hold your crap. Hold your poop. Okay, let me just, and then I'm out of here. And then we'll show how you do it. I'll take these off.
Here's the expert dumper.
Now, I have an RV. It's towable. So I have two choices. I can tow my rig all the way over here, or I could use the honey wagon. I've decided to use the honey wagon. And let me show you what we do with the honey wagon. So the honey wagon right now just has my gray water in it from my kitchen sink. And so we're just going to dump that. But essentially, using the honey wagon, I have one black tank and two gray tanks. So I basically have to do this 3 times. And trust me, these things are heavy because this here is about 28 gallons of yuckiness. Okay, now this tank weighs about 28, 29 gallons full. It's quite heavy, so you need some strength to be able to do this.
He's full of shit. And John, I asked him if he was gonna help me dump, and he's like, yeah, that's in my contract. And I say, you need to get a new agent,
Yes.
John. Okay, I'm gonna step way over there while Keith does this.
But this is gray water anyways.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay.
I did the black already.
This is the part of RV life nobody
Now,
talks
the
about.
honey wagon has a bayonet clip to put the hose on. So you just clip that. Always remember to open up the vent cap. And you'll see that this is gray water, but I've overfilled it. Just shorten the hose a bit. Put that puppy in there. And then we lift slowly.
Oh, I didn't know you had to do that.
It's always important to rinse your tank out, especially if it belongs to the park, like this one does. Because you don't want to be dealing with, letting somebody else deal with your crap. For a bit, I'll lay it down.
And always wear glasses. I'm wearing my sunglasses because it's bright out here, but you never know what's going to come back flashing at you.
Safety glasses.
Safety glasses.
And it's always important to have a shower after this event, or you won't have many friends. So I filled it about halfway up. Just going to take that off. Lift it, and you'll see that it's clean water that's coming out.
These are RV morning chores.
Yeah, this is a weekly chore.
Yeah. Not the fun one. Good thing
But when you're retired, this is the only crap you have to deal with.
other than me.
Other than some Minnesotians.
Yeah. And that's
Okay,
it.
And we'll leave some fresh water in there. And just for added cleanliness, I will usually rinse out the hose anyways, inside and out. Odors don't linger.
And then always, always, always remember to put the cap back on.
Yep.
When you're, like I usually dump at a Love's or something when I'm on the road, and you actually have to go in and get a big key because you have to pay for it. because they have theirs locked, so you have to unlock it before you can do it.
So the message here is, don't complain about your taxes, because the city and your county takes care of this.
And that's how you dump a shitter.
So there you go. Dumping lessons 101. Not that hard. And we forgot to tell you that usually at parks, when you pay to hook up, there goes Keith. You're hooked up. He's dragging. He's dragging that. Can you hear it? When you're hooked, you're usually hooked up already. Like it goes, from the back through the thing. So you don't have to worry about the honey wagon. But here they don't have, all they have is the dump site right there. And so, but just know that probably 90% of the time, you're just going to hook it up in the back and it just goes straight down there. So you don't have to deal with a honey wagon. But in our case, where we are, they didn't have that. And so that's what they have to do here. So just know there's both ways. A lot of times you just get there, hook up, go straight through. When you leave, unhook and you leave. No worries. Pretty clean. This, a little more involved, but sometimes you just have to do it. And for me, I usually just dump like that anyway. Okay, enough about dumping. Let's start our day. Okay, so I just left the gym. This seems to be my morning routine. Keith and John and I get up and have breakfast together, which is amazing. We laugh so much. And then they help me with videotaping some of my stuff. And I've been doing a lot of reviews lately, and when you say yes to a review, then you have a certain amount of time, you tell them like when you can get it done. And so I need to get everything done this week, but that's good because then next week, since I'm staying here, I can relax and not have to worry about making so many videos like that. But it's been so great to have John and Keith helping me filming and stuff like that, and then them being around and being in my videos and stuff. I really like to do those videos. I just wish I had more time. Now that I work 1:30 to 5:30 every day, I gotta get everything done because by the time I get home, it's almost dark. So anyway, so I went to the gym, I took a shower, I came back to the van, I shot some footage for, I have a review of a power pack, which I highly recommend getting. I didn't have one the first year, and people are like, oh, you should get a power pack, because I don't plug in most of the time. Honestly, I really didn't understand them, which is kind of the theme here. I didn't understand a lot, and then you just learn stuff as you go. So don't think you have to know everything. Looking back, and if you're just starting, get a power pack. It saved me so much. I can plug in my computer, I can plug in my phone if it's slow. And so when you're driving, I set it, they're usually heavy, but I set it in my passenger seat. And when I'm driving long distances, like when I'm on the road traveling, I plug it into like my car lighter, and then that charges it. You get all different kinds of attachments where you can like either plug it into a wall, plug it into a car lighter to charge it. Again, I knew nothing about that. Had I known, I would have bought one before I even left the driveway. So I'm doing a review on a power pack. Somebody asked what kind of paint I used, and sorry, I see like the comments, but sometimes I don't have time, like I'm working or something, so I see them, but I try to respond to as many people as I can. I'm just limited in time. Somebody asked what kind of paint I used. This is the Bear I happen to have again with me, the Bear Ultra Scuff Defense stain blocking paint and primer. So it's paint and primer, and you can screenshot that if you're interested. But this has worked well for me, and I got this at Home Depot. So there you go. That's the paint I used, and I like it. And then one more thing, a hotspot. Again, I mean, this was even before I had the van, and people would talk about hotspots, and I'm like, oh yeah. And honestly, I did not understand hotspots. And I just like, should I know this? And I even like looked it up. I remember Googling it once and I'm like, And then before going on the road, I finally got it. So on your phone, while I'm taping with my phone, but on your phone, through your carrier, you usually have a hotspot. You can call them or check your bill, or I don't know, your, you know, what you have in your package. But I think most people have a hotspot. And I'm with AT&T, and I do. And so a hotspot, other than I don't get my hotspot at where I'm staying because there is no tower close enough. But usually I have no problem. So you plug it, you know, in the USB port, like in your computer. And then, because I use it for my computer a lot if I don't have Wi-Fi. Oh my gosh, it's a low-flying duck that just flew. Oh, 2 of them. Oh my God. They're flying like a foot off the parking lot thing. Okay, squirrel, duck. So you plug it into your USB. And then, you know, it has, this is, you know, the cord that you use, like a USB cord. And then, you know, you put that in your phone. So your computer is connected to this, or to your phone. And then you go into like your settings. And then is it Wi-Fi? Or it's like general. And then it says hotspot. And you push that. And then when you go, you know, when you connect your computer to Wi-Fi, like if you're at Starbucks or something, you know, you have to go in and connect it. Well, when you go in there and it lists like the closest networks for you, it'll say, oh my God, it's like Attack of the Ducks. Like really, they're flying right in front of the van. And I'm in a parking lot. So weird. But you plug that in. And you pick iPhone or whatever you have, you know, your phone, and you'll be connected to the Wi-Fi. I felt like the smartest person in the room when I figured it out. I didn't know. So there you go. I don't know a lot, but you just figure it out as you go. So, so just know it's going to happen. You're going to run into stuff and then you figure it out and you're like, oh my gosh. That might make my life 100 times easier. So, because van life can be hard. Okay, well now I got to skedaddle, because I have to go to Starbucks. Because it's been so hot, I just sit in Starbucks. And so I'm going to go get ready. I, you know, set up and everything. And then I work till 5:30. It's only because of the time zones. In Minnesota, they're an hour behind me. So when I do get back to the Minnesota time zone, Central Standard, I'll be working 12:30 to 4:30. But right now, I kind of like it 1:30 to 5:30 because I have so much to do to get done. Because then when I get back to camp, it's getting dark pretty soon after that. But Keith is making turkey meatloaf and like mashed potatoes. He asked me what my favorite meal was, and I'll tell you, it's meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and corn. And then I take a little bit of each. I take the mashed potatoes, I take the corn, and may mix those even together. And then I get my meatloaf, and then I drag it through ketchup. It's the perfect bite. Listen, I never said I was high class, okay? So when people say, hey lady, I'm like, nobody ever called me lady. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to Starbucks and then I will wrap up. This is kind of just a normal day, but I know I wanted to answer some questions for you guys, like about the hotspot and the dumping. So ask me more questions down there if I don't get back to you, because then it gives me things that I can show you, you know, that you want to know. The more you know. Okay, let's go. So I'm done with work for today and I am driving back to the campground. And I was going to work at Starbucks today and they're closed. My second family. I couldn't believe it. And the inside was closed, but the drive-thru was open. And I'm assuming, listen, I'm in a small town. and I just don't think that they have enough people to work there. I see the same like 4 or 5 people working there all the time. So yeah, the drive-through is open, but I didn't have time to drive anywhere else. So I just went to Walmart and sat in the parking lot, sat back there and worked. So it all worked out. But let's get home and see what Keith's got cooking for us tonight. I love this. I just get to go home and dinner's pretty much already made by the time I get there. That's how life should be. Living the dream. Okay. Keith, coming home.
Over here.
So Keith really disappointed me. I said, oh, I'm going home to have turkey meat.
Oh no, I can make turkey meatloaf. It doesn't.
No, you're too tired.
No, I gotta make something.
I'll keep it above the waist.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to show those.
I know, I go home, I go,
And-
this is how life should be. I come home and he's got turkey meatloaf made.
Last
and,
night,
yeah.
spaghetti.
I don't know.
Spaghetti,
The
we
thing is,
had
I don't know
last
if I have
night.
all the ingredients.
And we had egg souffle. I forgot to tell them this morning before we dumped.
I
So
got
we're getting a little spoiled here. So, well, guess we'll have to eat something.
Oh, it's
a
6 o'clock
sandwich.
already. No, it'll take too long.
Yeah.
It'll take too long to make.
No,
should-
I can fend for myself.
We'll have it tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go find something to eat. It's starting to get dark already, and I'm gonna end it here. So, go out and make an adventure. No matter how big or how small, you don't have to sell everything and move into a van. I did that. You can. It's great. Sometimes you meet really great people along the way. And go call someone you love. And as Joy says, tell them that you love them. And before I sign off for good, we are going to wrestling Saturday night. And now the sailing, we already signed up and paid. That's going to be Sunday because with weather, I guess they had to push one, I don't know, trip out. So now we're going Sunday, which is perfect because it doesn't interfere with going to wrestling on Saturday. So I'm bringing you to wrestling and I'm bringing you sailing. So look forward to that. And don't you dare forget your magic. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.